Hey y'all, today we're going to be talking about the joys of being a stepmom while I eat my Oreo. It's not joyous. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it 100, just keeping it real. Being a stepmom is really hard. Like, being a stepmom sucks. I mean, nobody plans to get divorced. Nobody plans to be a stepmom. Nobody plans to be the mom to other children that aren't yours, or the secondary mom, stuff like that. So, I'm going to tell y'all why I believe being a stepmom sucks, okay? First of all, it sucks because you're technically, well, depending on the situation, my situation was I was a part-time parent. With one stepchild, I was a full-time parent with another stepchild. So being a stepmom sucks because it's like you have to figure out your place, and you're trying to raise your own kids and parent your own kids, but trying not to disappoint, or you're trying not to mess up the parenting of the stepkids too. Like I was saying, I've been a stepmom for about 13 years. It hasn't gotten any easier. If anything, it's gotten harder, because you got a lot of people that you're trying to please, and you got to wear different hats. So you got the husband, trying to please the husband. Then you got your own kids, trying to please your own kids. Then you got your stepkids, trying to please them. Then you got the stepkids' mama, you trying to please them. Or just trying to make things smooth. And, it's a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. I feel like I've been doing this for 13 years, and I'm definitely about ready to give up. You know what I'm saying? And I know it sounds crappy, but, I'm a person too, and I just have felt over the years that you give your best effort, do the best you can with all the kids that's in your life. You love them the best way you can. But it's hard when you have a blended family. It's hard when you see the stepkids. Let's say you only see the stepkids on the weekends, right? I remember my stepdaughter would come over on the weekends, and I would feel so obligated to hey, what do you want to do today? Or how is your week going? It's like when with your own kids, I would just tell them, they would just ask, I was like, how was your day? Fine, and they go in their room and they don't want to be bothered. But it felt like when you're a step parent, it felt like we got to do something fun when they come over. Or I got to make sure they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think it's because maybe what I'm trying to say is you have to feel like you have to be a good parent for once. Versus when you with your own kids, you just like, hey, you know me, it is what it is, So here's an example of a situation that I experienced with my stepdaughter. So when my son, he was 3 years old, my stepdaughter was 15. So we were at church. My little youngest son, who is now 8, when he was about 3 or 4, he was real super bad. And if you want me to be honest, he's still real super bad. But he has a fun personality. So he was acting up in church, and I'm with my aunties, I'm with my mama, my sisters, my daddy, we all there. And my auntie was like, go get a switch, from the tree. So I went and got a switch from the tree. I proceeded to whoop him with it. Did it work? No, it didn't work, but that was my auntie telling me, and I was like, I'm just gonna do what my auntie say, because I'm suffering up in here, with this little boy, and his daddy wasn't there, he was at work. So anyway, I get in the car with the stepdaughter, and she was very upset. She was very upset at me for whooping her brother, and in my house, that's what we believe in. We believe in whooping. And baby, when I tell you, that was probably the first time I lost it, as far as I couldn't keep my cool. I was driving in the car talking to myself and being like, I know this little girl I know you ain't talking to me, and and it just made it 10 times worse. I don't regret me getting upset and whooping him. I don't regret going off in a car. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that it's not easy. It's not easy, because in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, girl, this is my son, because in 2 minutes he gonna be kikiing. Like, he gonna be laughing and talking and being fine. He was acting a fool. I didn't know how to handle it. Because of that, man, she didn't come over our house no more. Like, she was upset. She was like, you abusing my brother. And I'm like, okay, I guess if I'm gonna be abusing him, which it wasn't abuse to me because I go by the word of God, and the word of God say I can lay some hands or whatever. But it's a thin line. No, matter of fact, there's a thick line between abuse and discipline, and definitely was on discipline side. Because right when we got home, I'm cooking them, making them food, cooking them cookies, doing all the good stuff, whatever. But anyway, the point is, she didn't come over our house for like a year and a half after that, all because of that. And I had to be like, you know what? I was kind of back and forth with what did I do wrong and stuff like that. But now that I fast forward, like I said, as a stepmom, you're doing the best that you can. To me, what I've done to survive it is I've realized that I've poured everything that I can pour into all the kids. And the best way that I've known how, because my mom and dad stayed together. So they didn't have a blended family. And they didn't have mom, dad, sister, brother, stepkids. They didn't have any of that. And it's like, we don't even use the word step in our family. We don't even use it in the blended family, in the actual step family. But it's still what's happening, I've just found out over the years, I've put a lot of pressure on myself to try to make sure everything was perfect, or try to make sure every time the one came over, we did something fun, or her daddy was here. And then it was a long period where her daddy had to work, like a lot of the weekends that she came over. And it was like, I would feel like, dang, she don't want to be just stuck up here with me. You know what I'm saying? So that was hard too. But like overall, I've learned that as a mom, as a stepmom, as a person, as a wife, as whatever I am, as long as you have the right intentions and you do your best, like that's all that you really can give to the situation. And looking back, my advice would be to treat them all as equally as you can. That's what I would say. It's hard. It's very hard. It's still hard now. But the 2 older stepdaughters, I don't talk to right now. One, I don't talk to hardly because, I don't know, maybe she's in a different phase in her life right now. She's in college, some stuff happened in the family. And then the other one, same situation, except, and then again, I'm the stepmom. And then their dad. And it's like, it's hard on the stepmom because the dad sitting back doing his stuff, not tripping. And it's like, okay, I don't want to be where the kids, go get the girls or I'm not trying to be doing all of that because I have to keep my sanity too. So I guess my whole moral of the story, or my whole life lesson, is do what you can. Try to treat all the kids the same. Of course, you treat them differently as they need to be treated differently. But overall, try to keep them all the same, because one of the mistakes I made was like not telling my stepdaughter to wash dishes and stuff. And it was like, I should have been making her wash dishes just like the rest of the kids. But you live and you learn. But that's my story on being a stepmom. Hopefully I can encourage you on today and you'll have a better experience than I did. But ultimately, all you can do is try your best and try to pour love into the kids, try to have fun with the kids, and do the best you can, because as you know, they have a whole nother house, and we really don't know what they going through either, considering like if the parents was married, if they never was married, you never know. It's just so many different things that go on that we really don't know. So hope you enjoy my story time.